everybody. Today we're talking about overcoming disappointment. In John 14, Jesus said it this way: "To they that love me, they will obey me." I think a lot of the issues many times is when we create expectations as to what the outcomes of our obedience are going to be. Thinking that because we did something, Jesus is now going to do something because of what we did. This is an expectation. One of the ways that you can protect your heart from becoming disappointed, one of the ways you can protect your life from potentially becoming derailed by disappointment, is to understand that your joy, your satisfaction must be found in simply obeying the Lord. The action of our obedience must be the fulfillment of all of our outcomes of what that obedience must be. You don't have to be disappointed, in Jesus' name. I remember a moment in my life where there was a conflict between me and a loved one. And praying one morning, the Lord spoke to my heart and said, "Reach out to them. I want you to forgive them and try to reconcile with them." And I did what I knew to do to try to make this happen. And after meeting with them, I thought that things would have turned out a certain way, but they didn't. They didn't receive it well. I didn't get the conclusion that I was trying to work towards, and I remember being so disappointed. I was discouraged. I sat in my car with tears running down my face, and I said, "Lord, what did I do wrong?" And the Lord spoke to my heart in that moment and said, "You have a decision to make." I said, "I don't understand." He said, "You obeyed me. Do you find enough joy in just knowing that there are things you can't control, but the thing you can control is the way that you walk with me and how you obey me?" One of the ways that we potentially can experience disappointment is when we don't find joy there, but we're looking for it somewhere else. Look for it in just doing what you know He asked you to do. Another way that you and I can experience disappointment is by thinking that we have the power to control time. We say theologically, we understand that God controls time, until it comes to the investment of our behaviors that we know God is calling us to, or something that you validly know He has spoken to you, something He's invited you to do. This is where it gets tough when we consider time. There are just certain times that you don't get to control when things happen. If God speaks to you and says, "I'm going to save a loved one, would you do this? Would you pray this way? Would you fast this way?" Whether God does it in 2 weeks or whether God does it in 25 years, He's still true and it's still valid. Free your heart to allow God to control the timetable in your life, and you will find yourself free from disappointment more times than not.